Hi guy Kai,
Hmm.
or if you're of another culture, Kai. I don't know.
Kai? Who the
It's
Kai?
two eyes.
Who the
That's
is
it.
Kai? All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the one and only. Okay, it is Fly Guy Kai, aka the Captain, aka the main character. At 9:24 at night, that's when I decided to record this. All smiles. Do I have a lot to talk about today? Possibly. Possibly not. Stick with your boy. I'm trying not to yell too much in the mic so that way it don't sound all crazy. But yeah, episode 29, man. I swear, like, all I'm trying to do is just live a little bit and then figure out, like, the perfect time to record an episode, and I'm good. And I'm gonna talk about recording and so far later on. But we got to do the solid three real quick. Let's check up on the health checks, which is the first one being the easiest, which is spiritual. Then we go to physical. Then we go to mental. I've got something to connect to that with a movie that came out. All right, so real quick, spiritual. You see me mess with my eye. It's allergy season, so it's really kicking my ass a little bit. Okay, just bear with me. But spiritual, never in question, never shaken. I love God. I love Yahshua. Set in stone. That's it. Physical, my physical is good. I don't have too much to talk about. Again, still weightlifting, still feeling good. My right shoulder is starting to. I don't know if it's because I'm sleeping on it or if maybe I did something wrong the other day. But I think I'm going to take a break or two, type of day from the gym. I've been keeping up with it consistently. I still been like lifting how I'm supposed to. I don't do any crazy movements. So when I do lift, because I've seen enough horrible videos where people have done something and they tweaked it a little bit, and then all of a sudden like you get like something that pops out here, or like your shoulder pops out, or no. We trying to prevent injury. I don't do the most, and that's one of my things. Okay, not doing the most. Let me see, where else are we at? The physical done. All right, stairmaster. I now do like 600 steps. I do it at varying speeds. There you go. Now, mental health. All right, mental health. Mental health is always an uphill type of battle. Sometimes it's a little downhill leisure. I haven't been feeling too crazy. I've actually been feeling pretty good. I don't know, since the last time I recorded it. I've actually been feeling pretty good. I've maybe had like 1 or 2 days where it's just like, leave me in a dark room in a closet. Otherwise than that, we good. All right, we good. We solid. Mental health. What I wanted to, and we gonna move into topics now real quick. What I wanted to get into was, there was a movie that came out, Woman in the Yard. And when I look over here, I'm looking at my lovely little whiteboard of topics again. But Woman in the Yard, real quick. That movie it was actually pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not gonna put it like super up there where it's like, oh my god, but it's more so like, it's like low key horror. It'll give you some points where like it's creepy, and then there's like some jump out points where you're like, oh shit, I didn't expect that. But the flip on it, the flip that happens in the movie, is what was really interesting. And there was a certain point with it where the main character was kind of going through she was going through, like, I'm not gonna tell the whole movie at all because I don't want to spoil it. Maybe it's a slight spoiler, but it's not really. It's just the main character is kind of going through like some type of, let's just say, some type of emotion. Okay, but the way that they have like represented it and personified it in the movie, very dope. Very dope. I mean, it's not a it's not a happy thing, but the way that they shown it and they've shown like other things, you kind of like it when you see the movie. Like if you've been put in not the same sort of situation that she was in, but if you've been put in that same emotional type of space, then you're like, yeah, I get it. Okay, I get what this is about. Okay, cool, I get it. So that was a slight review, slight connection to mental health thing. The movie was definitely uh you know what it is, because I've seen people shitting on it too. It don't go in there thinking that it's gonna be like the craziest horror movie you've ever seen, but it's definitely real. I will say that. Like that's the one. If I could describe it in one word, it would be real, and not real in a physical sense, but real in like a metaphysical sense. I guess. I don't know. It sounds like that word works. I don't know what to say, but it feels like it fits in there. So um, let's see. Let's get that out of the way real quick. Lady in the a woman in the yard. My bad. Sometimes I'll be like lady in the yard. I don't know why. Anime updates. Solo leveling. Okay, and it's been about 2 episodes since I last recorded. Solo leveling is Aura Farm the anime, because your boy, your main character, Sunjin Woo, that nigga, like that's what this was. It was like if you look up Aura in the dictionary, you had two people that you could look at. You could look at Gojo and you could look at Sunjin Woo. Lean a little bit more towards Sunjin Woo, okay? Because that would. Okay, look. Spoiler alert. All right, maybe spoiler alert for like the next, I don't know, like 3 minutes. But Sunjin Woo is him, and when he had to go up against Biru, absolute work to the finest degree, to the point where this nigga was like, yo, this is too much work. I gotta get out of here. He was looking for a way out. And guess who was there every step of the way? Your boy in the Louis Vuitton hoodie, jacket, flannel combo. I'm talking Gucci down to the socks. And not even like a heightened scream most of the time. Like he's just there, he's like, so you're the one everybody's been fighting. Okay. Oh look, you're the one that's giving everybody problems. Nice. Like shit like that. Like yo, just like nonchalant with it. Just I guess I got to take out my weapons and get you. Even even when he beats somebody, he's just like arise and just gives them a name. I don't know what to give you. I'm gonna call you Biju, not Biju, but Biru. Uh, definitely good. Definitely a good fight. Definitely a good ending to the second season, because now the second season is completely done. So if you're like, oh, I was waiting for the second season to finish, it's finished. So you watch first one, second one, super easy to watch. There's been something else too that people have been talking about, like, oh, the anime is just so simple. Nigga, not every story has to have all these plots and intricate turnarounds and meanings for it to be a good anime. All right, it's a simple story for solo leveling. A boy was born with the lowest possible level of hunting skill. He takes a situation and proves how much heart he's got. That gives him a second chance to get a special trait that lets him level himself up past what he was like. Because once you're born with that certain hunter rank, that's it. You can't level up no more. All right. Unless you got like that special trait where you're able to level up to S rank and above. And that's pretty much what it is. It's the main character solo leveling. And that's it. You're just watching you're watching RPG the anime. You're watching rogue a roguelike anime. Perfectly it. You get to get companions, level up, you get your weapons here and there. The only thing is he don't put armor. He don't have to put armor because he already got that shit on. Okay? He don't gotta do nothing else because he already got that shit on. And mind you, I'm multitasking, but he again, yes, the story is simple, but that doesn't mean you know what it is? It's like you can have anime where there's a simple story, but the action is fire. Then you can have anime where there's a complex story, but the action is subpar. Like it's there, but like, you know what I mean? I think for people, you know what, looking at that metric too, I think what gets people with One Piece is that it has that intricate, like, don't get it twisted. One Piece has that intricate fucking storytelling, but then it also has at times the the action piece. All right. Same thing with Naruto. Naruto doesn't have twists and turns, but it does have, for me, it has a good story. All right. I did the whole rewatch. I did Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. Dog. And the Naruto Shippuden tier. Couldn't hold it back as much as I wanted to. Storytelling. Good. You may not agree with some of the endings on some of it. And yes, there is like filler here and there, but good. If that's the criteria where you're like, okay, this is what makes it stand above, by all means. Um, Another one where the story isn't intricate, but the action is there. Dragon Ball Z. It's Goku going at first. It was Goku, and what was he doing? Collecting the Dragon Balls. But what was on the way? People to fight. That's it. And he gets stronger along the way from completing the task of collecting the Dragon Balls. That's it. Then once you get the Dragon Ball Z, it was something a little different. It was like, yeah, we need Dragon Balls because we're getting ready to do this other thing that means more. But it's still the same thing. Goku's going out there to fight somebody that's super strong. Now that they're strong, there's somebody else out there. That's the one thing you can learn from Dragon Ball Z is just when you think you're the strongest, there's someone out there who will always be stronger. Always train. Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready, all right? Always do that. Hold on. So, pretty much, all in all, solo leveling, good. Watch it. If if someone was after solo leveling was done to say that they were putting this in their top 10, I wouldn't be mad because top 10s realistically are going to shift. My top 10 will be different from someone who's 10 years younger than me, who's 10 years younger than that person because of the anime that they're exposed to. Not a lot of people are going to go back to watch the older anime, okay? I've watched Lupin the Third. Lupin the Third, which I think to me is fire. I'm talking about the beginning one from like the 70s. 70s, 80s, 90s, still going up now. My list is going to be different from someone who started watching anime not too long ago. If they reach back just a little bit, they're starting in like the like maybe later 2000s going into like the 2010s. So it's definitely going to be different. But don't worry about it. It doesn't mean like when people come up with these lists, it's not the end all be all. It's just lists that they think because it's their, personal list. But if a majority of people have certain things on their personal list that resonate with a large majority, unless of course we're going by numbers, then numbers will dictate based on numbers what's the top 10. I know Free Run's up there and Full Metal Alchemist, if I'm not mistaken. And of course One Piece, One Piece, Dragon Ball Z. I'm trying to name stuff off the top of my head. Bleach might be somewhere in there, but like the low numbers, just like Naruto. But that's because of other stuff. Blue Exorcist. Now, it didn't come out with a new episode, this weekend, but last weekend, I'm talking about your boy, and mind you, when I say I'm not good with names, and I keep saying it on here, it's because I'm literally not good with names. That's the one thing I can describe to you. I can say the twins on there. I could say the twin, the more devil twin or the more devilish twin, then you would get where I'm getting at. Um, yeah, Ren and Yukio, yeah, but Ren is getting to Ren. So this whole thing about this season that just passed, they put it in like different parts. It was like season 3 this part, season 3 this part, season 3 this part. The thing about this season was that Ren was Ren had entered a mode. All right, a mode that only he could. Yukio was the twin that didn't really get the devil powers. He's got some type of access where he may be able to get some later on, but he doesn't have it like Ren does. Ren got it from birth. So he accessed the mode, and then something happened to like kind of pause the mode or like take it away for a little bit, but he got into this mode, and the demon that's like the head of like the exorcist school gives him a key that allows him to travel back to find the answer, because when he sees that like what happened to him, and he hears what happened, like what he did, he wishes he was never born. He's like, yo, all this shit, everything that's going on, I just wish that I was never born. To find his answer, God gives him the key, and he's able to go back to the past, but he's going back from when his mother was a child, and also his like adopted father. But you could say adoptive father was a child, and it's just showing like what they've been through, how they've been going through, how they met, how they grew up, how his adopted father came to be his adopted father, how Satan came to be his father, and then what's really the goal for Ren. Not so much Yukio, because Ren is the one with the demon powers. So you get that, and you go through this whole adventure, and you get to finally see like what what led up to that point. And seeing that, um that was good. That was really good to me. Like I said, I won't spoil too much. You just know that you're gonna go on like a time traveling adventure, but it's not too like dragged down. Like it's very cool stuff that you see. It's like it's important information, because this is what led to Ren. This is what led to Yukio. This is why Satan is their father. This is why their adopted father got taken over. Like it shows you exactly why, and then why he was able to last so long when he was taken over, before he like pretty much got rid of himself. Um, but yeah, again, Blue Exorcist, go check it out. Definitely fun. Just like you should check out Solo Leveling. All right. And I know it's not an anime, because we're going to get to some shit. I know it's not an anime, but Avatar The Last Airbender. I've been watching Avatar The Last Airbender. I am now, as this morning, I'm on season 2, episode 15. This one was Appa's Lost Days. The first season, or the first book, how they do it, was the Book of Water. That's when Aang had to travel to the North Pole in order to find a water bending master. His big bad at that point was more so like, um, you could say Admiral Zhao. Admiral Zhao was the big bad for that point, just because of what he did. Then you have this one. The second season is book 2, which is Earth, because Aang had to find an earth bending master to teach him earth bending. And he's the crazy thing about that is not only is he accelerating in his bending, Katara is uh accelerating as well. That's why she got props from the water bending master up at the North Pole. North Pole. Northern Water Tribe. North Pole, same thing. But that's why she got her pointers, and you see her level of like how she's able to bend water. You also see Aang and how far he's come since meeting Toph, like since first learning earthbending. Because mind you, it's been like what, I think, I'm trying to think how many episodes since that time. Because it wasn't too many episodes. Like it kind of took him a minute to try and find her. And then once she like gave him like the sauce in a way to figure out how you want to bend the element, then he's just been moving up ever since. His earthbending is crazy good at a completely fast rate, but he's the avatar, so what do you expect? But there, first off, forget Appa's lost days. You want to talk about um the stories, the individual stories that they had for Aang and the gang and Zuko and Iroh. Tales of Ba Sing Se. You got Katara and Toph having their day. Sokka having his day with his little rap battle. You got Zuko had a little date. You had Aang that helped with like some zookeeper that pretty much like made a whole zoo for him. Two of the saddest ones. Least saddest one was Momo. Momo also missed Appa. But the way that they show like the animals, they can't talk. Okay, they do like animal speak, but they can't like talk in words that we can understand. But through the actions, what they do, and how they show stuff, it shows you like what they're feeling. So it was showing you like Momo was really missing, Appa too, because Appa is another animal in the gang, and he's someone like what I mean. He's someone he connects with. At the same time, as someone from the Air Temple, just like Angus from. Now he even had dreams about him. It's like yo, like he's dreamed about it. That's his boy. Out of everybody there, that's his boy. Like him and Appa. So you seen that when he was missing them, even when he landed into the footprint, like oh he's here, but I still can't find him. He was laying in the footprint, like that's sad. When you get to Iroh's story, all right, and how he was just going about the day, you know what I mean, getting a basket, helping a little kid that was crying, even helping a thief that was trying to rob him. The thief was trying to rob him, and he had the craziest stance ever. He was like, nigga, you're never gonna rob anybody with that stance. You're off balance. Yeah. Took the knife, book, kicked him over. Which a lot of actions that you can see, like, and I'm talking actions, like fighting and stuff like that. You can see that Iroh continued Zuko's training. Like ever since he stepped up to like he stepped up in a meeting and his father gave him that scar and was like, "Yo, you're banished." Zuko had that fire in him, and Iroh was pretty much teaching him not only like regular firebending, but he was also teaching him like armed combat. Because there's unarmed combat, and armed combat, and there's bending. He's teaching him bending, and he was teaching him armed combat too. Cause that nigga Zuko is like a ninja. When he doesn't have to firebend, and he became like the blue phantom or the blue spirit. I think the blue spirit. Yeah. When he became the blue spirit, that boy was in and out of places. But yeah, you see Iroh and he's having his day, and he's like, "Oh yeah, today's a special day," and you find out at the end of it, it's his son's special day because it's his son's birthday, who is dead. He died during the war. That shit. Not only did that shit tear Iroh up to the point where he could no longer continue what he was doing on the front lines, and they were just like, "Oh, he's a disgrace." It's still tearing him up till this day, which rightfully so because that was his son. That was his only son, and you don't hear about his wife. So that was like besides him having Zuko as a family here and there, as far as like immediate like your wife and your kids, like he don't got that. And his son was just, just trying to fight in the war just like his father. Son got cooked. And he's like, man, I wish I was there to like save you or something like that. So he still cries over that. But it wasn't only that that made it sad. It was the fact that the guy that actually voiced Uncle Iroh in those, like in that first season and like a bit of this one, it was the fact that he passed away as well. So it was just like sad on both parts. You know what I mean? Teardrops. But it's Avatar: The Last Airbender. All right, it's gonna make you try to shed a tear. It's gonna make you feel some feels, especially when Aang is angry. When he got angry, when Appa got taken, it's like you can understand the crash out, but at the same time, crashing out on the people that have been trying to help you this whole time. No, and then crashing out as the Avatar in the Avatar state. If you were just like regular bugging, crashing out, people are like, okay, but nigga, you crash out in Avatar state, you got a cannon that you just letting go everywhere. And then when you hurt somebody, what you gonna do? You gonna feel bad. And that's exactly what Aang didn't hurt anybody, but he feels bad every time he wilds out when he's in the Avatar state. He'd be scared of his own Avatar state. But you can understand it. It's a powerful state and he doesn't have control over it like that. So anything could happen in a sense. But that's Avatar for you. Now I gave you in the last one a list of recommendations for anime. But I want to talk about, let's say those out there, instead of recommendations, you've been watching anime for a while. You've watched a couple, you watch a few like me, you know your boy. I watched a few. I've watched like maybe close to 300 by now. I don't know. There was an episode I recorded where I had the exact number, but I feel like there's more than I'm leaving out from like Netflix or something, and then like maybe some that I saw a couple of times before. So that list could more than likely be closer to 300. So anybody who's like half of that, you've seen some anime where you're like, dog, no one talks about this anime, or no one speaks about this anime. This anime is so underrated. Then that got me thinking. I have about let me count real quick. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Yeah. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I have about 19. 19 underrated anime. And you know what? Just like last time, when I went to go look it up, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you real quick. Let me set it up. Okay. Now, some of these, okay, I have been talking about for a while. And I just want to, again, give light descriptions. Just like I did before when I looked it up, I'm going to give light descriptions based on how Wikipedia is usually good with it. So, based on how Wikipedia, get yourself together. Wikipedia or Wiki Fandom. We'll do it. Let's see how they say it. Oh, the synopsis. You know, here's the synopsis too. Like you won't be able to enlarge this. Don't worry about it. My first one up for underrated is Zatch Bell. I hold Zatch Bell near and dear to me because it's an anime again. Let me see. When was this? This was around high school. So I think you know what? The dates is right. Well, this ain't the date. Zatch Bell News, Zatch Bell News. When did this come out? I'm gonna look this up. 2006. Yep. So 2006 to 2008. This was an anime. Even amongst people that was watching anime, nobody was talking about Zatch Bell, and it came on Toonami. Okay, and it's not a crazy story, but it was dope just because of what was happening. Some of this shit it'd be explaining like too much. Just give me the synopsis, okay? The synopsis, the summary is what you're looking for. Then yeah, so and to give you guys a heads up on some of the information, like Zatch Bell, to be perfectly honest, unless you go on the sites, unless you go on the sites that you go to watch your anime, you're not gonna find Zatch Bell anywhere. Even me when I was looking for like how to download it, I downloaded it on my Xbox, but again, it wasn't all the seasons. It was only like I think maybe up to 50 episodes, but there's like 100 and something episodes in total. So I'm not getting all the seasons. Again, you're gonna have to find it like that. Even if you want to try and find it on Amazon, it now like the animes cost like crazy prices, and like each season, and sometimes it's really hard to like track down and find. So you gotta either hopefully somebody gives you a summary on YouTube, or they have the episodes up there, whatever seems to fit. But all right, synopsis for Zatch Bell. Every 1,000 years, 100 Momotos, or they have Momono, which is like demon in Japanese, but every 1,000 years, 100 Momotos descend upon Earth to conduct the ultimate battle to decide the next king of the Momoto world. There's only one problem. In order for the Momoto to use their magic spell book, they need to team up with a human partner. If their spell books are burned, the Momoto dissipates and returns to Momoto world. When fate pairs Zatch Bell and Kyo Takamine, an intelligent 14-year-old junior high school student, the two must navigate treacherous battles, uncover the secrets of Zatch's past, and ultimately strive to become the victorious Momoto team. That's it. The rest of that stuff just regular stuff, but the premise was good because it was like, cool, okay, you got these demons, right? Semi demons, like demon kids. Mind you, this is the demons right here. A little blonde haired white kid, and somebody with like a duck face and a little pony, a girl with like pink hair, it's stuff like that. Some of them actually have cool designs. Some of them look like bugs, or this whole thing right here. This dude right here, Brago, top notch. Brago, Wanley, Zolfis. Those are some, and Zatch Bell 2, the manga. Boo! Fire. Cause when you see Brago gets brolic, nigga. I'm talking Bane level, and that's just his natural. I guess he's from some type of. I mean, they're demons, so they're gonna have different shapes and stuff. But he's like somebody you don't want to fuck with. But it's super simple, and it had like a caveat to the magic system, because yeah, these Momotos, for some reason Earth is connected to them, and they descend here, like 100 of them, mind you, all over the world. It's not just in Japan singly. Battles will happen there because, well, the main character is in Japan, and they start to flock in from there. But the magic system is these Momotos, and they have magic that they can use inside spell books, but they can't. They have to find a perfect human partner. So there's teamwork. That's part of the whole magic system too. It's like, yeah, you have all these spells. In fact, all of them are in the spell books, but the spells are locked, and you have to work with your partner to fight, unlock them as you go along. And it's a fight until you get one who is the victor. All right. Could yeah, the show's title is Zatch Bell. Like the show's title Naruto, and his dream was to be Hokage. The show's title Zatch Bell. Could he win the whole thing? Could it be something to where he doesn't win, but a person just as good does win, and he helps them out? Could the person win and then just give it to Zatch because they feel like he's better fit? Three possibilities. Let's go to the next one. All right. My next one, Katio Hitman Reborn. And if you hear this chair squeaking, I can't do nothing about it. It is what it is. Hitman Reborn. Katekyo. Let me get my Japanese right. Katekyo Hitman Reborn. Let's see if they got synopsis. Because if they don't, then they're bullshitting. Do 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 do. They don't. Not here. That's fine. Let's go here. They're giving you a plot. All right. Let me read the first one and let me see if it gives you just enough information. So, Hitman Reborn again, and this one came out in 2006, ran until 2010. Solid good runtime. Underrated. A boy, let's just call him Suna because his name is Tsunayoshi Sawada, but everybody calls him Suna. So, a boy Suna is chosen to become the 10th boss of the Von Gola family, as he is the great grandson of the first Von Gola boss who moved to Japan from Italy. Timoteo, the Von Gola ninth, the current head of the family, sends Reborn, an infant hitman from Italy, to train the reluctant Suna. Reborn's chief teaching method is the dying will bullet, which is tough, which causes a person to be reborn with a stronger self to execute his dying wish. The clumsy, underachieving Suna becomes stronger, more confident, and willing, making him a suitable Von Gola boss despite his continued reluctance. He makes several friends, including his love interests, Kyoko Sasagawa. But that's pretty much it. You have this boy, and you see how cool this is now, right? He don't get like that until a little later. Like that flame right now, that's the dying will flame. The dying will bullet is what, you know, is what Reborn. And this is Reborn, by the way. So Hitman, Reborn, all the things, and getting reborn with the dying will. But once you get that flame, like it makes you a little more powerful, or it's like it brings out the you, all right, that others see, but you know, it brings out your potential and helps you out. Okay, it brings out your potential power, your potential feelings, and it makes you execute whatever you need to execute. For Suna, he's like, yo, what's going on? Like a mafia boss, you're out of your mind. He's clumsy. He doesn't believe in himself too much. He's not like courageous. That dying wolf, while Bullet brings out that dying wolf flame, different person. It's like slightly. It's like when Yugi turns into Yami Yugi, in a sense. If you think about it like that. The only difference is like Yugi's down to duel or whatever, but it's just there's matches where you got to bring out Yami Yugi because Yami Yugi's the king of games. So he's got to get into his king of games every time. But then it starts to go to a point where like he he is brave, but that dying wolf flame is the boost that you need at this point. Like you need that boost of power. So it was definitely underrated. Nobody talked about this shit at school. People are starting to bring this up a little bit, but it's like a select people. But again, underrated. Only a select people will bring it up. This was fire. Even if it was made 2006 or started 2006 to 2010, it still holds up. The same thing with Zatch Bell. Zatch Bell's got a good mixture of goofy with a good mixture of action. I will say that. And you can get in touch with the manga and it'll be just as good. I'm trying to think about it because I like anime, but the manga does just as good. Same thing with Zatch Bell. Same thing with Hitman Reborn. In fact, I think that's how I finished it, and then I was waiting for the anime to finish, and then once the anime finished, it was like, okay, cool. So that was good. Let me try not to make this too long, but it's 20 of them. So my next one is as Cryad. I'm putting y'all on some shit. Okay. This part, like, you'd be like, yo, I'm gonna hit you with this. Oh, you don't know about this? You missing out. You could be one of the people like, oh man, you missing out. This shit came out like, you know what I mean? This came out in a tuck a while ago. A lot of mine, for some reason, that's why I was talking about, oh, your top 10 list will be different from somebody who's like 10 years younger than you and somebody who's 10 years younger than them. This one, the first episode, 2001. So a lot of like this, like Yu Yu Hakusho was 1980s. Bleach was early 2000s. Naruto was early 2000s. Dragon Ball is 80s. Dragon Ball Z is pretty much 80s still. I think GT was like early 90s in a way. It's just it got over here to America super late. But I think the only somewhat new, well, the newest one up there is Free Run. But Full Metal Alchemist is back to the early 2000s. Um, Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans, I believe, was 2014. So that's not necessarily too old. But let's get back to this, okay? As Cried. If you like stands, you'll like S Cried. I'll put it that way. I'll give you that. If you like stands, you'll like S Cried. Because it kind of has that same sort of feeling in a sense. And I want to I'm trying to see if I can give it a good. Let's get the setting. All right, let me read the setting to you and then read a little bit of plot. Let you know if they explain it the right way. Cuz all in all, the main character right here is Kazuma. I'm sorry. Yeah, Kazuma. And this is Kazuma. He's got this whole thing going on. This is Ryoho. He's got the actual stand looking thing. And that's kind of how their powers in this manifested. But let me read the setting for you, right? The series takes place several years after the Great Uprising, a powerful geological event which occurred in Kanagawa Prefecture near Tokyo, dividing the city into two parts, the Lost Ground and the mainland. Alongside this disaster, many people in the Lost Ground began to develop a power known as alters, granting them the ability to create weapons with supernatural properties. Among the steadily rising number of altar users, there are two forces who directly oppose each other: the native altars, who live outside the central city and avoid any relationships with the government, and Holy, a subgroup of an organization called Hold, which functions as the mainland government's super police force and representative in the Lost Ground, and is composed exclusively of altar users who serve as a special operations unit tasked with dangerous missions. So that's why I said it's almost like stands. Like you have alternate personalities. Stands are kind of like alternate personalities for the people in JoJo's Bizarre Adventures in a way, and they each have something that ties to the person in a sense. Like you don't get it until you keep seeing the story. But the plot: Cosmo is a native alter user who makes his living as a mercenary so that he and his close friend Kana Miyuta can live together. And Kazuma's friend Kimishima, you say it like that, gives him a mission to defeat another native alter user. However, a man known as Ryuho from Holy captures Kazuma in the aftermath. During this, Ryuho tries to interrogate Kazuma about an unknown alter user who killed his mother and dog. All right, it's getting too much into the spoiler territory. Just know when I read that setting, that's the premise. Kazuma is the one of the alter users from the Lost Ground. They on the outskirts. It's pretty much like they're in the slums. If you're in the Lost Ground, because people don't mess with it like that, and because of what happened, pretty much in the slums. If you're if you're in the mainland, you good. You in the city, you living kind of good. If you're an alter user in the Lost Grounds, you're out there, you kind of fending for yourself, you kind of doing things. If you're an alter user in the mainland, you work on the police force. You work on you work in Holy to ain't nobody gonna stand up. Like let's say you have a stand and not that many people do, they're not gonna be able to stand up to you. Pun intended. So it's a it's unique. Now I said it was just like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but it's definitely still unique. Um, Kazuma's altar, and they take up some. I guess they do transmutation in a way because they be taking parts of the environment like rocks, maybe pieces of a wall, and they'll transmute it into their power. And Kazuma, his is like he gets this arm, and the arm it's like a super like powered up arm. It's almost like Bucky's arm, the Winter Soldier. It's like that, but he also has these three sort of like crescents or blades or something that come out the back, that when he consumes one, it gives him a boost. So that way he gets like this boosted flying punch. So he can do Falcon Punch in a way. And he's super strong with that arm. But you have him who has that, and then you have Ryuho. Ryuho has this sort of stand. Like he has this like controlled not a puppet, but it kind of is. It's like a puppet in a way. It kind of has like the form of a small child if you look at it. Even though it's not, it's deeper than that. You have to watch it. But yeah, he has that, and the child, like he has his arms that are tucked into some type of jacket thing that he has. But the way he attacks is he has these two like ribbon like metal. It's like metal ribbons that are like prehensile, so he can control those to attack and do whatever he wants. So that's how he does his. Now, when it gets like super damage, he also feels it. Like Ryuho also feels the damage too. So they're the main two that you'll follow, and you'll see why, and you'll see like what Ryuho has to go up against, what Kazuma has to go up against, how far he'll go to protect Kanami, who he treats like his little sister, how far Ryuho will go to protect like an interest of his, but also to discover what happened that day that gave him this power, and like this special being that he's seen once before. So very, very good. And again, very underrated. IMDb 6.9 out of 10. I bumped that up to 7. Just off the strength of me mentioning it. Baby. Good. Let's Mobile Suit Gundam. Let me try to get through the list quicker for y'all. Okay, Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans. Again, it is in my top 10. Again, this is one of the anime that I like. Why? Because this shit made me feel something and made me shed a tear drop. Bing! A teeny. Those who know where that's from, but if you don't, you're missing out, dog. I don't know what to tell you. Hey yo, why do Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans, like, give me the synopsis. Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans. It is now post-disaster era. Roughly 300 years have passed since the end of a great conflict known as the Calamity War. The Earth sphere had lost its previous governing structure, and a new world was created under a new system of government. While a temporary peace had arrived, the seeds of a new conflict were being sown in the Mars sphere, far away from Earth. Mars, Earth. The protagonist, a boy named Mikazuki August, belongs to a private security company. Wait, what? Private security company called Cheers Guard Security. The company accepts a mission to escort Cordelia Bernstein, a girl who seeks to liberate the Martian city of Chris from the rule of one of Earth's major powers. However, the military organization Gallahorn attacks CGS, Chris Guard Security. In order to nip this rebellion in the bud, CGS begins an evacuation using Mikazuki and other children as decoys. Orga, the leader of the boys, decides to take this opportunity to rise up in revolt and launch a coup d'etat against the adults who have been oppressing them. He gives Mizuki the task of repulsing Gallahorn, and Mikazuki enters battle using the Gundam Barbatos, a mobile suit from Calamity War era, which has been serving as CGS's power source. What you're going to have is two opposing sides. In Gundam, like it always is, you're going to have opposing sides. Some that are part of the bigger army that's going on. Then you got the little guy. That's what this focuses on. This focuses on a little guy battling the bigger guy. But this is following these kids that were pretty much being used as child labor on Mars. And these adults that just kept using them like that. But once a situation like opportunity comes up, the leader, Orga, you know what I mean? And they see like, yo, this is like what did you say, a band of brothers? Possibly. But this is like people that like, they've been working together for the longest time. They're pretty much been slumming it out there. They're like brothers in a sense. And when they get this opportunity to rise up against this like these slaving ass adults, and they have Gundam Barbatos. Like they have an actual mech that can help fight against the help fight against Galahorn. Anybody else that comes steps up to them, and your boy Mikazuki is not one to play with. To be honest, and mind you, Mikazuki is the number two. This story is still it follows like different, different POVs, but Mikazuki is the number two. However, this is Mikazuki's story. Like this he's the main character. If you gotta say who the main character is, because that leader is Orga. Orga's calling the shots. Orga's like, yo, go out there and do this, and Mikazuki is not questioning a damn thing. What you need me to go do, boss? Consider it done. He's that loyal guy in the mafia. What do you need me to do, boss? Copy that. Stand by. All right, it's gonna be done. Like, it's impossible, right? I said it's gonna be done. And he's not. If you try to get in his way of a mission that Orga specifically ordered him to do, he will not hesitate to take you out. These are teenage boys too. But these are people that have been worked to the bone. He specifically, when you see it, he has a certain contraption hooked up to him as far as like towards his spine, that there's these certain like smaller robots that help with like certain field work and stuff. And he's like doing the most with his, but it helped him when he had to pilot the Gundam Barbatos. There's like another person that kind of started doing the most too, but that goes later on in the story. Trust me, underrated. Please, you gotta put it on your radar. And with this next one, underrated number 5, Eureka 7, Eureka, Eureka. I'm gonna say Eureka. 4.8 out of 5 on Crunchyroll, respected. 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb. Respected again. Eureka 7 is that shit. Think of mechs who can get around and fly on like surfboards in a way. Surfing mechs. The action gets there too, but they're what do you call it? It's totally tubular. I gotta bring out that word. They're like, yo, that's you're like, yo, that's it. Nah, they're giving too much the plot. You know what? First off, don't forget to hydrate no matter what you do. One of my main rules. I was like, what the fuck was that? One of my main rules. You gotta hydrate, okay? Brought to you by your body. Anyway, Eureka 7. The series focuses on Renton Thurston. This guy right here, main character energy. Renton Thurston, the 14-year-old son of Adric Thurston, a military researcher who died saving the world. He lives what he considers a boring life with his grandfather in a boring town. Boring life? Boring town? Where's the opportunity? He loves lifting, a sport similar to surfing but with trap bar, a substance abundant throughout the air as the medium. He dreams of joining a renegade group, Gecko State, led by his idol Holland Novak, a legendary lifter. So we not surfing, we lifting, which makes sense. An opportunity to do so literally falls into his lap when a large mechanical robot called the Nirvash Type 0 and Eureka, its pilot, and a member of the Gecko State crash into Renton's room. Renton's grandfather orders him to deliver a special part to the Nirvash called the Amida Drive, which releases the immense power dormant within the Type 0 called the Seven Swell Phenomenon. Eureka 7? Yo. Afterwards, Renton is invited to join Gecko State, where he quickly discovers that the behind-the-scenes life of Gecko State is hardly as glamorous or as interesting as printed in the glossy pages of their magazine, Ray Out. Is the grass green on the other side? He's going on that journey. Only one thing makes it all worthwhile for him: the presence of Eureka, presence of a lady who'll do that for you, or significant other. Shout out to y'all. The mysterious pilot of the Nirvash, Renton, Eureka, and the Gecko State embark on an adventure that will shape their future as well as the worlds. So yes, you do have mechs that surf. You have this sort of the power source is the mechs, but then you have something else too that's there, which is trap art. And trap art becomes an important thing because that's kind of how they fly. But then you have Ren. Yo, Ren Thurston, this is the thing. This is the hero's journey for those who like writing, those who know writing, or those who want to start. When you want to start up a story, because I've been looking through countless books and stuff because I'm trying to write myself. Like, same thing, slight thing. I've been inspired by not only just, you know, some of the other cartoons from back in the day because I've watched like Hey Arnold, Recess, stuff like that. But I've been really inspired by anime and manga to like how they take things and go beyond like outside the box. They think outside the box when it comes to anime. You got to really think about like, yo, they think outside the box. There was a time where it was just straight traditional cartoons, dumb slap jokes, poop jokes, fart jokes, whatever. Make them laugh, cool. Then you got to anime, which had this action, but then had this story and didn't treat the kids, didn't treat me when I was younger like an idiot. Okay, yeah, it'd give you the action, but it give you like some stuff you got to learn in there too. And if you didn't pay attention to it, it's fine. Like I found myself with Naruto. I did understand like a good chunk of it, but I didn't understand all of it all the way through until I went back to go watch it with a different mindset. Very good. Lessons in there all around. But I was inspired by anime to like at first I like to draw, then I went to military, then that spark got lost to a whole bunch of because of a whole bunch of things, especially the major thing which is depression. But when that spark kind of dwindled down, I found a new spark which was creative writing. So I'm still creative nonetheless. But I like to try and tell stories now. And when I have these thoughts, when I have stuff like when I see mech shows, mech idea. When I seen magic and magic anime, magic idea. Superhero stuff, comics too. Comics have also, because there are some great comic stories that have also inspired me to want to write. But it's stuff like this, right? To get back to it, it's surfing mechs. Things was like, yo, you can't reinvent the wheel, right? So you can't reinvent the wheel. I'm getting tongue tied. But you can alter some stuff to make it, just as special. We have mechs. Mech animes have been going on for years before this. This came out 2005 to 2006. 50 episodes and one special episode. It didn't take them long to get through it. Perfectly fine. But yeah, it's just like mechs have been done, cool. Let's have mechs with some type of alien stuff going on. Okay, that's kind of been done too, but we can hear you out. The mechs also surf on a particular substance that's in the air, which makes it as not only they're doing combat, but they're surfing as well. Like think of surfers that are on some Tom Cruise shit in the water, just surfing around and just guns ablazing. Eureka 7. Then it's like, oh, okay, so that's what separates this mech show from some of the other ones. And that's pretty much it. Underrated? Definitely. The story's cool, like not just Renton and not just Eureka and not just Nirvash too. Nirvash is also interesting. But also the crew. The crew, how they interact, the other members that start to come on there, like definitely an underrated anime. So put that up there. I've talked about this one too. I don't know if I fully talked about it, but Orange. Again, you're looking at it, it's different from what I normally watch, right? Hold on. Back at it. Synopsis. That's what I like to see. So here we have Orange again. Not I've been showing you like action stuff, robots, demon children, people that create stuff out of transmuting things. That's a little different. Synopsis for Orange. In the spring, she was 16. Takamiya Naho receives a strange but detailed letter from herself 10 years in the future. Little bit of twist, but not nothing crazy. At first, she thinks the letter is a prank, but then the things written in the letter actually happen, including a new transfer student that sits next to her in class, Naruse Kakuru. The letter reads just like her diary entries, down to the same characters. It is not till 2 weeks later, when Kakadu shows back up at school, that Naho finishes the letter. In the letter, her 26-year-old self tells her 16-year-old self that her biggest regret is that Kakaru is no longer with them in the future and asks her to watch him closely. What happened? What do they mean by no longer here in the future? And look at there, you got Naho, Kakeru. This one was I'm not gonna ruin it. You're just gonna have to watch this one. If you want one that has like you're here for the story, you don't necessarily like all the big action. You maybe want a little romance in there. Um Especially with finding out some of the twist, like how she's receiving these letters and what exactly that Kakaru goes through, and why he no longer is there with them, like chilling with them in the future, just stuff like that. Like this was very like it was different for me too, because when I first like watched it, I was like, yo, what? You know me, I'm watching Naruto, I'm watching Bleach, Dragon Ball Z, the big three, One Piece. Mm, Slight confession, I wasn't into One Piece like that when it first came out. I'm sorry. I wasn't really into it like that when it first came out. I had other stuff I was watching. Then once I went back, I kept up with the manga. Let's just say that. I kept with the manga over the years. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to start going back and watching the anime again. I would keep up more so with the manga, watch a couple episodes of the anime. It was just like some of the episodes I could skip because I was already reading it in the manga. So it didn't matter. But we press on. Um yeah, Orange was definitely a different thing for me. But I like it because it brought in my anime taste. Cause I was getting ready to say it. You know what? There's no there no 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 no. Let's just say I definitely did go outside the norm for some of these, but Orange definitely 4.7 out of 5 on Crunchyroll, definitely worth it. 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb, definitely worth it, without a doubt. Um, yeah, there's a reason why they show him too. The next one. Now let's you know what I mean. Let's go to the next one. I'm pretty sure I talked about this one. A summertime rendering. And let's see what they give me for a synopsis. And the plot works too. Okay, summertime rendering. If they don't stop doing all this dumbass trailer shit. Upon hearing of Ushio's death, Ushio, the white lady, but she's fully Japanese. Upon hearing of Ushio's death, Shinpei returns to his hometown of Wakayama City on Hitogashima and reunites with his childhood friend's family. The funeral goes smoothly, but under the surface, something strange is brewing on the island. What mysteries await him on this secluded summer island? Now that's good. That's a good description as far as like the plot. You see the flower she's got. That flower always I forgot what it means as far as like the culture in Japan. But there is a reason why she's in a bathing suit. Is there a reason why she's white? No. Japan just has the side note. Japan just I don't know what it is. But when it comes to animes, when it comes to certain things, like you're gonna see a blonde-haired, blue-eyed person in there with a full Japanese name. But if you go to Japan, how it's rare. Okay, it's rare that you're gonna see a white person looks like that. You know what else is super super rare? That they're gonna have a full um like Japanese type of name. So beyond Naruto, Naruto's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed baby. His father was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid. But then again, forget it. Ino was also like a, but it's just one of those things that like I've always seen and it sticks out. And I'm just like, yo, it makes sense because you kind of want to have like a colorful cast, but at the same time, you don't include other ethnicities. It's starting to get better though as time goes on. Trust me. If you want to see how they would represent other ethnicities back then, go back to like, yeah, go back to like the 70s, the 80s. You'll see how they was drawing other people. Especially when it was like when it came to like the Indian people, when it came to black people, the whole bubblegum lips thing, nasty work. And yes, it wasn't Dragon Ball Z, but they did start to clear it up afterwards. So yes, people were making strides. But anyway, sometime rendering again, underrated anime, and you can watch that shit on Hulu or Disney Plus because it's both now. IMDb 8.2 out of 10. Apps of fucking lootly. Because there is a twist in here. Like, you see this picture? It's showing you shadowy hands. It's showing you a girl in the back. And if you look at his picture closely, if you like just Google outside of this, you'll notice he has two different eye colors. It'll, you know what I mean? What's with that? You just got to keep watching it. But trust me, it's definitely underrated. It's definitely one of those ones where you could put people on and be like, yo, what are you talking about? Excuse me. And it has something to do with time travel. Let's just say that. You know what it's probably like? It's probably like I was about to say Until Dawn. No. Even though that movie is coming out, I might go check that out. It's kind of like, I think it's kind of like ReZero, except not like super mystical fantasy RPG setting, but it's definitely like a Groundhog's Day-esque sort of thing going on. So yeah, put that on your list. We still going again with some more time travel shit. Not time travel per se, but time. Let's not call it time travel. Let's just call it time shenanigans. I don't know, time dealings. Future Diary. And mind you, I ran up on this right by just searching like Hulu. Because Hulu will sometimes pop up stuff like, oh, you like anime? This is what we got in anime. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Turn it on. That's how I got into Danganronpa. I'm not putting it on here as underrated, even though the twist on there and what they had to do in Danganronpa, you probably haven't played the game. Not too many people did, but you just know Danganronpa was crazy. If you're looking for a crazy time, go Danganronpa. Rampa. Ropa Rampa. I lose it sometimes. Nah. Let's go with the synopsis for Future Diary. By the way, main character vibes was old buddy in the bucket hat. Yukiteru Amano, a junior high student, has trouble making friends. He views himself as a spectator from the sidelines and often writes down what he sees in a cell phone diary. Cell phones become important. Tormented by solitude, Yukatora interacts with his imaginary friends, Deus Ex Machina. I think that means something. The god of time and space. And Muru Muru, Deus's servant. One day, Deus grants Yukatori's cell phone the ability to record the future for the next 90 days. Yukatori is then forced to participate in a battle royale with 11 other people, so it's 12 in total, each of whom also have a diary that can predict the future in some unique way. The rules of the game are simple. Before the world ends on day 90, the contestants must find and kill all the other contestants, and the last one standing will become Deus's successor. Yeah. Like, yo, reading that, right? You're already like, okay, cool, standout kid. He writes in the diary because he's an observer. Talking to his imaginary friends. They're not so imaginary now because he's sort of like the god of space and time and is like, hey, you now have a future diary in your cell phone. And oh, by the way, you're in a contest with 12 other people. Some of these shits remind me of other anime that I have watched in a sense, just like with Orange and Summertime Rendering having something to do with time. This has something to do with time too, but it being 12 contestants it has something to do with something else I watched called Junie Tyson. I'm gonna get to that. We gonna get to that, but that's Future Diary. I'm trying not to linger too much on some of these. Garo. Garo is like your Super Sentai. For those who don't know what Super Sentai is, Super Sentai is pretty much Power Rangers. That's it. Just a That's what they call Power Rangers, Kamen Rider. It's that. And you have a whole like chronological timeline S type thing, but yeah. Agaro, the Carved Seal of Flames, Divine Flame, Crimson Moon, the Fleeting Cherry Blossom, Vanishing Line. Vanishing Line was nice. But I definitely caught on with Garo Carved Seal of Flames. Let's just go with that one because there's and literally it's in this order: the Carved Seal of Flames, Divine Flame, Crimson Moon, Fleeting Cherry Blossom, and then Garo Vanishing Line. But the first series is set in a fictitious Valiante kingdom, which resembles Spain during the Spanish Inquisition after the king, under the influence of an advisor Mendoza, launches a witch hunt that endangers both Makai knights and Makai alchemists. A Makai alchemist named Anna is burned at the stake while giving birth to Leon Lewis, who is spirited off by his Makai knight father, Germain Luis, to be trained to inherit the title of Golden Knight Garo. Golden Knight Garo is that lion looking thing in the back. So, years later, after Valiante is now plagued with horrors, as Mendoza, revealed to be an excommunicated Makai alchemist, uses them to assert his authority after uprising the throne. The king's son, Prince Alfonso, seeks out the assistance of Garo to reclaim the throne, but also trains as a Makai knight to become Gaia, the Knight of Defense. Ooh. Fully grown Leon returns to the land of his birth at this time to avenge his mother. Both he and Alfonso meet and learn that they are in fact maternal cousins whose grandfather was a previous Garo. That's all I'm gonna go into that because it looks like it's still going into. It's not like a crazy. It's not. It looks like it's getting ready to go into a crazy spoiler real quick, but just so you know, this one right here, mother's an alchemist, a Makai alchemist. Father's a Makai knight, which the knights wear that particular armor. Mother died at the stake. He's stillborn. Father takes him. Listen, I'm gonna train you because you're gonna inherit this armor, okay? But you gotta be trained up for it. The same way, you got a kid who's having a problem in the kingdom. They find out these niggas is, you find out these niggas are related. So now they're trying to save the kingdom from this ruler that's doing the most. But they have this Super Sentai type of armor. As I described, it's just like you would think like, okay, it's not really nothing to really squint at or anything like that. But Garo Vanishing Line was tough. Now that's in the line that they were released. I don't think that Garo. I don't think that it was. Let me see. Series presented in scattered timelines. However, based on the third series, they established a chronological timeline, and this is now reflected. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Crimson Moon. That was when they came out. They came out kind of in that order, but it's Crimson Moon, Garo the Fleeting Cherry Blossom. It's a movie. Carved Seal of Flames, Divine Flame, movie. Then you have Vanishing Line. Vanishing Line is a more futuristic one. The Carved Seal of Flames is more like the Spanish Latin one. Crimson Moon is more like the Japanese themed one. So they got like I said, they got like different timelines, but there's still a chronological order to them. Just say it's different timelines. And I believe you can watch either ones first. The movies, don't watch the movies yet until you actually watch the series that it belongs to, but it's a Super Sentai type of thing. So if you like Sentai, there you go. That's Garo. Nobody, and I guarantee you, you ain't. I could throw a rock in a crowd and still not hit anybody that seen Garo. 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb. Honestly, I agree with that. I do. Because I was getting into it and then I kind of like fell off of it and got back into it. 4.7 out of 5 on Crunchyroll. I would say 4.5 in a sense. Tokyo EXP. This is another one. 3.9 out of 5. 6.3 out of 10. 6.3 out of 10 on IMDb. It's still underrated to me. So don't get it twisted. Tokyo ESP. Put you on. Tokyo ESP begins with Rinka Urushiba. As a fairly normal high school girl, though she is a bit poor and her father, who is a police officer, is her only family. This forces her to work part-time as a waitress after high school in order to raise money for them to secure rent and food. So she's got a father ain't doing the best. They're kind of poor. She's got to pitch it. One day she sees a penguin and some glowing fish swimming through the sky. So you think she's bugging and she's out of her mind. Like, yo, maybe you've been hitting, you know what I mean? You've been hitting the stuff a little bit too much. You need to really take a break or you're working too hard. So, sees the penguin and the glowing fish in the sky. Rinka might have thought it was a hallucination if there had not been another witness with her. The witness is a boy from her school with a strangely scratched up face. Out of curiosity, she touches one of the glowing fish, which causes her to pass out. After she wakes up, she finds that she has developed the power to phase through inanimate objects, such as the floor of her apartment. She meets a fellow high school student named Kiyotaro Azuma, who has the ability to teleport. The two of them use their ESP powers to take on individuals who have decided to use them for evil. However, there is an organization that is planning a bigger scheme to secure Utopia, with their ranks consisting of strong ESP fighter users. ESP brawl going on. It was 12 episodes, so it was short, but I don't remember if I haven't read the manga for it, so I don't know if it goes past the 12 episodes. I might go back and watch it again just because it is such a short anime. But for me, it was definitely underrated just because of like, you know, it's psychic. She sees some shit and she's bugging out. Touches something, you know, you're not supposed to be touching nothing weird, but she touches it anyway, and now she got psychic powers. But then you find out that there are other people in the city with psychic powers. Is it on some Mob Psycho type stuff? You gotta watch it. If you like Mob Psycho, this one doesn't have like the same type of comedy as Mob Psycho, because Mob Psycho's got that One Punch Man type of comedy to it, but it also has that action. I think this one is more so got the action aspect. My sinuses are killing me. It's that time of the year to sneeze my lungs out. The next one, World Trigger. This is going to be a long podcast episode, but trust me, I'm putting you on. You may have slightly heard of World Trigger, but I'm pretty sure people don't be talking about World Trigger like that. And I've recently been hearing people maybe spark it up here and there, but not really talking about this. Mind you, this shit's got 99 episodes. Was it 99 episodes? Where's the little IMDb rating? They ain't got it on here. Still pretty dope. Okay. I'm sitting here reading stuff on the phone. Let me give you the setting. One day, a gate to another world opens in Makaido City. They call it Makaido-shi as far as like an anime. And monsters called neighbors start appearing from it. Humanity struggles to fight the neighbors as their weapons are ineffective against them until a mysterious organization appears that is able to repel the neighbors' attacks. The organization is called the National Defense Agency, or Border, and has appropriated the neighbor technology, triggers, which allows its user to channel an internal energy called Trion, and use it as a weapon or for other purposes. When trigger is activated, The user's body is replaced with a battle body made of Treon. Excuse me. She's killing me. The plot is 4 years following the appearance of the gate, the people of Hokkaido City have become accustomed to fighting with the neighbors and have mostly returned to everyday life. One day, a mysterious white-haired student named Yuma Kuga transfers to the local school. Kuga is actually a strong humanoid neighbor, which he seeks to hide from the border. At school, he meets another student, Osama Mikumo, who is secretly a C-rank border trainee. Since Kuga is unfamiliar with life in Hokkaido City, Makuma must help him adjust to life there and keep him a secret from border. So yeah, white-haired humanoid neighbor rips open, creatures come out, weapons no good. Some people come in and say, "Hey, how about you try this? Oh, this works. What is this? A special energy that few can use. All right, we'll train a few that can use it to help fight back the neighbors. Now you can live your normal life, because if something happens, we get a little Power Rangers type thing where people hop in, take care of it." You're following a C rank type of trainee, and you're following somebody that's a neighbor, but it also looks human. So what's up with that? What's the mystery behind that? How will this C rank trainee match up? Will he get stronger, or is he just stuck at that? Who knows? You gotta watch it, but it definitely is underrated. And it's got 99 episodes, so it's got enough for you, man. Had to take a small break because I was sneezing my face out. Okay, I'm taking NyQuil to the max tonight. Do your over-the-counter medicines responsibly, folks. The next one up, Blood Blockade Battlefront. I'm getting ready to fucking sneeze again. I can already feel it. That should be killing me. Let's see some synopsis. Oh, you got a plot? Oh! I wanna, cause I, you know what I mean. I wanna give the people a good. No, the same thing. Okay, cool. Here's the plot for Blood Blockade Battlefront, which, by the way, definitely fire. If you like blood-based powers that are used uniquely, it's like on another level up from Dead Man Wonderland. Ask some people about Dead Man Wonderland. I didn't put it on this list because listen, I'd be here all day. If I actually went back to go look at my list that I put up on here like videos ago and looked at each one, like that's underrated, that's underrated. This is like personally to me, but also to what I have seen or have not seen or have not heard, in a sense, if you get it. But Blood Blockade Battlefront centers around the crime-fighting organization Libra and their battles in Hell Salem's Lot, formerly known as New York City. So you thought New York City was crazy before with a whole bunch of weird shit going on? It's even crazy. The new normal is the crazy from before, with a little added extra bonus. Now there are people trying to prevent it from going even crazier. So you thought people shitting on the subway was weird. So anyway, Blood Blockade Battlefront centers around the crime-fighting organization Libra and their battles in Hell Salem's Lot, formerly known as New York City. Hell Salem's Lot was created when a portal to the Beyond opened, becoming a paranormal melting pot of monsters, magic, and everyday mundane life. And it is up to Libra to clear the streets of trouble and prevent the horrors of this city from spreading to the outside world. Really, the main character that they follow is like this this young guy that has like these weird eyes that they titled the Eyes of God, but they have a very peculiar power. But you figure out like why he's there, why he likes to take pictures and stuff like that. But yeah, a weird New York. Okay, unique New York. Original run from 2009 to 2015. That's the manga. The anime is different. Yeah. I want to say I want to see since when. So from April 2015 to October 3rd, 2015. And then second season aired 2017 and it ran for 12 episodes. Okay. That's what it was. So the first one, again, this is a short anime. The first one, Blood Blockade Battlefront, that was the first season, 12 episodes and over. The second season was Blood Blockade Battlefront and Beyond. Say that 5 times without messing up. I dare you. And this one was another 12 episodes and an over. I appreciated it. I enjoyed it. Each of the characters having their unique abilities, the journeys that they were going on. Especially, you know what it is? The world building in this, because New York City is it's the epicenter. It's the epicenter in America, epicenter for a lot of things, but definitely the epicenter in this for some weird shit going on, and you figure out just how weird, like what creatures have moved in to this New York. Hell Salem's Lot. Still good, still fire. Definitely underrated. Check it out. Now, this is another one. I didn't expect to watch it. Erased. I see a little kid. He looks, he looks like that. He looks like he's got a little determined face, but me, I'm watching Naruto. I'm watching all this other stuff. I'm coming from that. What do I care about watching this? 2016. It came out 2016. So, this one's also fairly, not really new. It's almost 10 years old. I can't say it's like new like that, but it's still like 2016. You know what I mean? It's not like super old. The plot. In 2006, a 29-year-old Satoru Fujinuma, a struggling mangaka living in Chiba, possesses an involuntary ability known as revival that sends his consciousness back in time, moments before a life-threatening incident, enabling him to prevent it from happening again. When his mother is murdered by an unknown assailant in his own home, Satoru's ability sends him back 18 years into the past, and Satoru is given the opportunity to not only save his mother, but also prevent a serial killer from taking the lives of 3 of his childhood friends, including a young girl from another school. So my boy has sent his consciousness back, but is trying to do his detective work. Detective Conan in a sense. Not so much so, because Detective Conan, people had to have heard of Detective Conan by now. Probably not, because it used to come on early mornings on Cartoon Network with Hamtaro. I'm 34. The animes used to come on early in the morning. Also used to come on after school in the afternoon on TV. The special day was Saturday, because Saturday mornings you had that lineup too up until like about 11 or like 12, and then it was cool for the rest of the day until nighttime came, until like 8 or 9 o'clock. Toonami. That was your anime block. Toonami was giving you the hits up until that final one where you get to wake up and hear Inuyasha. So yeah, like, just thinking about that, man, y'all want to experience that. I have to be. Side note, I have to be the old nigga that says that now. Not old, but I have to be like the nigga that says back in my day. Like, I'm feeling the urge. I be getting shaken. I'm like, ugh! Every time I hear somebody complain about something, I'm like, don't say it, don't say it. Back in my day, we had to wait a whole week. We didn't have any access. We had to sit there and wait and time ourselves. That's how we really knew about time management. Cause I tell you what, you fuck around if you want to. If anime was coming on that Saturday night, man, you better have maybe taken a nap so you could stay up. Maybe you couldn't stay up too long because you had church the next day. But you could stay up long enough to see the ones that you really want to see. I wasn't peeping Inuyasha like that. I knew about it though, just because I would wake up every now and again on the beginning when it was coming on. But yeah, same thing with Saturday morning cartoons. If you did not, damn it, if you did not know how to work the VCR in order to record some of that stuff, you were already missing out. Not only that, you had to make a choice, because Kids WB, And 4 Kids TV that was shown on Fox was having that battle of showing anime. You had one that was showing Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, another one that was showing like Sonic and its Turtles, and you had to make some decisions. All right. You wasn't having 2 TVs on in your room at the same time. You know, you only had one TV, one small 19-inch, you know, big booty TV. And you listen, you was either watching one channel or you was watching the other. Either you didn't mind missing Pokemon or episode of Yu-Gi-Oh that day, or you didn't mind missing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something. You had to make a choice. All right. But yeah, this one, bringing it back to this, it's another time travel esque one. Where this one he definitely does time travel, but he's trying to fix something, and with the mind he has now, and he goes back into his child body, he's got to figure out a way to remember what happened in those moments and change them around. Because not only is he trying to save these people, like whoever he's trying to save, but he also has to figure out, like, yo, who the fuck would want to kill my mom, and then who also is like killing my friends at this time. Like, who's the murderer? When you find out who the murderer is, twist the little twist right there. You're like, oh, okay, they're bugging out. Maybe depending on how much anime you've watched or how much TV you've watched, you may figure it out sooner than later. But still, that twist was good enough for me. We're getting close to the end of this list. Junie Tyson Zodiac War is the next one. This shit was fire. Just you know, I ain't gonna click on the picture like that per se, but let's go ahead. This is why I was talking about like something dealing with something else as far as like certain numbers and 12s and whatnot. Don't look at that. 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 Actually, eh. Let's go to the plot. That's what's important. Junie Tyson Zodiac War. In a city of 500,000 people who have all been removed, by the way, 12 of the deadliest warriors with the names and attributes of the Chinese zodiac animals are pitted against each other in the 12th zodiac tournament, which takes place every 12 years. So they sticking to that number 12. But it's cool that they're doing that. They're sticking to that number 12 in many ways. During this rendition, each warrior is asked to swallow one of 12 crystallized poison jewels known as beast gems or Jesuki, which will kill each of the warriors after 12 hours. So you only got 12 hours to do what you need to do. To be granted any one wish of their choosing, the winner must retrieve all the crystals from the other 11 competitors before the deadline, which is midnight, December 12th. It becomes a ruthless battle where survival is crucial by any means. Chinese Zodiac is 12 episodes. It's whole the numbers, Mason. What do the numbers mean? It's a whole bunch of 12s going on. But that's the unique thing about like kind of thinking outside the box where you're taking like, okay, Chinese Zodiac, cool. We can have people who have abilities based on each member of Zodiac. They've done that a couple times. They've done that in Digimon. They've done that in they've probably done that in Pokemon somewhere. You know, it's been done, but not like this. Where like 12 episodes. Of course, there's 12 contestants with the 12 zodiacs, and you know you got a December 12th is the end of it. You have 12 hours to fight, like stuff like that is unique. It's like, okay, cool. Now, do they get down in this? Absolutely, absolutely. Pay attention to pay attention to your boy in the horns. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to say who else to pay attention to because when you see like, oh, he's like that, then you kind of first off the magic system in this, I gotta go back and watch it because I'm still confused on it. I'm not understanding it like that. But definitely the boy with the bull zodiac sign. Yeah, yeah, he's him. And not only that, again, I talk about the twist. The twist at the end of this. What do I want to say? The twist at the end of this. Yeah, the twist towards the end of this, towards like the last, I think 2 or 3 episodes. It's nice. It's nice. Let me see. IMDb 6.5 out of 10. I would say 7 out of 10. 4.1 out of 5. Yeah, 4 out of 5. Still great. But yeah, Junior Tyson is a quick, easy one. Again, it's underrated, but it's a quick and easy one. It's 12 episodes. You ain't gotta look too crazy. This one is kind of old. Do they have certain ones that are like it's newer renditions of it? Sure. But the one and there's Cyborg 009 that came out like a while ago. Let me see some. Cyborg 009. Nah. Began civilization. Not the films. 1966 film. God damn. I think I've seen remnants of that one, but I'm not talking about that one. I think the one I've seen came out in like the maybe the late 80s was the show that came out. There's a film trilogy that came out, 3D computer series. I wasn't in on that one. It was that 2001 to 2002 series. I believe that's the one that I watched. Yep, that's the one that I watched. They had that one. They also had another one too, but anyway, let's get back to it. I call it underrated just because of how unique it was. 9 people from around the world are kidnapped by the evil Black Ghost organization led by the Tyrant Skull to undergo experiments that would allow him to use them as human weapons to promote the production of cyborg warfare. While he succeeds in converting the group of 9 into cyborgs with superhuman powers, his most reputable scientist, Dr. Isaac Gilmore, helps the cyborgs escape to rebel against Skull and Black Ghost. The 9 cyborgs, from which the name of the series is derived, band together in order to stop Black Ghost from achieving its goal of starting the next world war by supplying rich buyers with countless weapons of mass destruction. After the destruction of Black Ghost, 9 cyborgs go on to so they go on to fight a variety of threats, mad scientists, supernatural beings, ancient civilizations. So yeah, they're gonna get to their goal, meet it slightly, and then there's gonna be more stuff that they're gonna have to get into, just because of how crazy. Like come on, this technology is crazy. All right, some cyborgs, and 9 of them. They each have unique abilities too. I'm not gonna say which each one is. Just know he kind of is like the main one per se, and it kind of fits too because even though there's 9 cyborgs that you're following in this group, he's the ninth cyborg. He's Cyborg 009. You know, his specifically there's a switch in his like somewhere in his like back tooth where when he clicks it, when he does that, he can accelerate. It seems like time is stopping at first, but then it's like it's not time stopping. It's just he's accelerating so fast, like some Flash type of shit. He's accelerating so fast that it looks like time is stopping. So, like stopping or I think slowing down. I think slowing down is the right way to say it. But yeah, the other ones you got to watch it to find out. Like I said, the 2000 to 2001 one, maybe even the newer ones per se. If you don't like the computer generated looking type of stuff, I completely understand. If you don't want to watch it, it's fine. But it was actually interesting. It was pretty dope. Like I said, I like the creativity. These cyborgs that were supposed to be meant for war, but are now being used to stop war. Very cool. And this is a personal underrated list for me. I've talked about this one before. I had to talk about this one before. If not, maybe I'm tripping. ID Invaded. Okay, I got my girl watching this, or I had her watch it. Short anime, 13 episodes. Very interesting. It's like a detective S. If you like detective stuff, this is a show for you. And it's a very interesting way that they're able to do detective stuff. The story follows the investigations of Nari Hisago, a renowned detective now in prison, who is tasked with diving into the id wells of various serial killers. That's it. They're giving away too much. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not reading all that. Not reading all that. That's crazy. Let me see what they say with this plot. Welcome to Kura, an organization that investigates crime using the Mizuhanami system, which senses the drive to kill. Sakaido is a brilliant detective and pilot of the Mizuhanami. To solve a case, he enters the world of the killer's unconscious mind, the Idwell. In the shadows of brutal and puzzling cases lurks John Walker, the serial killer creator. Who will Sakaido's pursuit lead? Or where will Sakaido's pursuit lead? That explains it without giving it away. Because I'm reading the sentence, I'm like, okay, cool, what's the next one? No. because it sort of gives certain stuff about the main character away. The main character ID invaded Fitzu because again he's jumping into the idwells of serial killers. He's invading their idwell, so ID invaded. 2020 is when it came out. This is a newer one, short anime again, underrated. People like, yo, you watch anime? Like, yeah, I watched something called ID Invaded. Oh, you don't know about ID Invaded? You slacking, dog. Let me tell you about it. Some detective, some Sherlock Holmes-esque, maybe not NCSI, but you definitely getting your, you know what I mean? Is there action? Less about, there is action, but not action the way you think. Not like super kicking ass action, but there's like, detective action. Gunslinging, jumping from one platform to the next, trying to figure stuff out. And I don't know what did they get? Hold on, let me look. 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb. I agree. Crunchyroll 4.7 out of 5. I agree. If someone gave it 4.5 out of 5, I wouldn't be mad. If someone gave this a 7 out of 10, I wouldn't be mad. If they gave it an 8 out of 10, I wouldn't be mad. You gave it a 9 out of 10, I don't know. Something at the end, I wanted a little more explaining. But don't worry about it. This one right here. Look at that. I almost spelled it wrong, and they still got it. Ranking of Kings. There's a reason why my eyes got bigger when I said that shit. Where do I begin with Ranking of Kings? I want to see if they'll give me a synopsis that doesn't give away the whole thing. Let's see. Because Ranking of Kings, this is one of the animes where I say the main character got hoed. All right, the main character got hoed, and he still prevailed. Look at my eyes when I say that shit. The plot. Boji is deaf. Okay, you gotta feel bad for that. And you look at his smiling face, and he's just a little kid. But Boji is deaf, powerless prince who cannot even wield a children's sword. He ain't got the strength like that. As the firstborn prince of the Bose, let's just call it Bose Kingdom. He strives hard and dreams of becoming the world's greatest king. So even being deaf, being physically weak, he still dreams to be a good king. However, the people of Bose Kingdom mutter behind his back, calling him a good-for-nothing prince, and says there's no way he can be king. Things start to change for Boji when he makes the first ever friend, Kage, a strange little shadow on the ground who can somehow understand Boji well. So he gets what Boji's trying to do. Boji has to use sign language. So Kage, the last survivor of an infamous assassin clan, grew up isolated as well. Follow Boji's coming of age as he meets new friends and begins his journey to become a king. Ranking of Kings. What is his goal? To become king. What does he put in a hold ass spot? He's deaf and he has a weak body. You would think, oh, okay, it's just, he got unlucky. That's how he got hoed. No. It's It's why he's deaf and why he's super weak that I say he got hold. Not only that, there's shit that happens in the story where you're just like, oh yeah, yeah. I hope if it was me in that situation, trying to do things a little differently, but not. It's King Boji, and he's trying to be the honorable king. He's trying to be a benevolent king, much like Zatch Bell was aiming for. He's just trying to be king. Listen, I got a dream. I want to be king. Naruto. I got a dream. I want to be Hokage. Luffy. I got a dream. I want to be king of the pirates. Ichigo. I got a dream, and it's to kick y'all asses. That's it. The on some Yusuke Urameshi type shit. It's like, listen, I got this power, but I ain't trying to ascend to nothing. There's people that need their asses kicked, and they call me to kick some ass, so I'm gonna go out there and kick some ass. That's what Bleach is. That's what Yu Yu Hakusho is, and that's why we love those. And that's why they're both next to each other when you see my little picture shit. Because that's what they do, baby. They kick ass. All right, we down to the final two. If you're yelling, oh wait, you missed this one and this one, put that shit in some comments. Share this video so other people can go ahead and, get that in. But, Megalobox. You like sports? You like sports with a little twist to it? I got sports for you. All right, Megalobox. Let me see what they say right here. I mean, it's pretty much what Megalobox is. And you can probably read that based from Junk Dog, an underground fighter with the alias of Gearless Joe, sets out to join the world's most prestigious mecha boxing championship, Megalonia. That's I don't know how else to really describe it. Man, I describe. Let me see. I want to see some synopsis, people. I want to see some. There we go. To be quiet. Oh, okay. Let's get a story. To be quiet and do as you're told, that's the cowardly choice. These are words of Junk Dog, an underground fighter of Megalobox, an evolution of boxing that utilizes mechanical limbs known as gear to enhance the speed and power of its user. Despite the young man's brimming potential as a boxer, the illegal nature of his participation forces him to make a living off of throwing matches as dictated by his boss, Gansaku Nanbu. However, this all changes when the Megalobox champion, Yuri, enters his shabby ring under the guise of just another challenger. Taken out in a single round, Junk Dog is left with a challenge. If you're serious about fighting me again, then fight your way up to my ring. Filled with overwhelming excitement and backed by the criminal syndicate responsible for his thrown matches, Junk Dog enters Megalonia, a world-spanning tournament that will decide the strongest megaloboxer of them all. Having no name of his own, he takes on the moniker of Joe as he begins his climb from the very bottom of the ranked list of fighters. With only 3 months left to qualify, Joe must face off against opponents the likes of which he never fought in order to meet the challenge of his rival. So he got this bullshit on, and he's ready to scrap. Why? Because somebody beat his ass. He said, yeah, that was light work. But if you want that run back, which I already made light work of you. I already made light work of you. But if you want that run back, you're going to have to see me where I'm at. I want this shit on the stage. And he sees it too, like, yo, Junk, like, what is it, Junkyard Dog? Yeah. A Junk Dog. You got that dog. And he sees him like, yo, you got that dog in you. And I want to see that. Like, I'm going to beat your ass now. You want to come fight me, go get stronger and climb up the ranks and do that shit the proper way. And I give you all the rematch you want. But you got to see me up there. And it's like, yo, I know you're going to do what it takes to get to me. I'm waiting. So yeah, you want to see a dog? Watch Megalobox. Megalobox 2 showed you a separate side, showed you more about his character later on, which Megalobox 2 is also good. But Megalobox, yeah, you like boxing. There's Megalobox and there's something else that was like Invictus or something, right? It was like steam powered boxing in a way. It was still alright. Computer style, like computer generated type stuff. If you don't like that, I'm sorry, but it was kind of tough. And the last one was Delicious in Dungeon. I don't know if I have to put this up. People are starting to kind of talk about Delicious in Dungeon, so I don't know if it's. I put that up there because I didn't hear too many people talking about it. Mind you, this just came out. Like the anime literally just came out 2024. So last year, 24 episodes. Um, Second season is coming out, so that's good. But in the fantasy world of dungeon exploration, adventuring parties set out on expeditions to raid dungeons, with many hoping to find a mysterious golden kingdom, which is said to be the treasure of an island dungeon. The story begins as a group of adventurers unsuccessfully attempt to slay a red dragon and are forced to escape as it consumes the leader's sister, Fallon Tuden, a tall man, human spellcaster. Wanting to rescue Fallon, who used magic to teleport them to safety, the remaining members of the party, Laos Tuden, a tall man swordsman, Chilchuck Timms, a halfling locksmith, and Marcial Donato, an elven spellcaster, brainstorm how to get back to the dungeon level, with the dragon in time to save Fallon from digestion. With most of their supplies left behind in the dungeon, their mission seems impossible until Laos, who secretly wants to eat dungeon monsters, Delicious in Dungeon, suggests they sustain themselves by finding food inside, to which Chilchuck and Marcel reluctantly agree. Inside, they encounter Senshi, a dwarf with many years of experience surviving in a dungeon by cooking monsters and harvesting food. This nigga is like, listen, I'm hunting monsters, but not in the way that you think. All right, I ain't fighting these niggas to just kill them off. We kill it. We eat what we kill. All right, you eat what you kill. Story details their travels through the dungeon, the environments, traps, and monsters they encounter, and the meals that they create. Now, let me tell you something. The dope thing about this, yeah, you got the whole thing where parties having some trouble. They're about to get their ass kicked. The whole party about to be wiped out. It's about to be game over. The sister says, "You know what? Sacrifice myself. Get out of here." They left all their shit back there, so they're ground zero. They got to get back down there, raced against the clock in time to go save the sister before she becomes like digested, before she becomes the food. Like they gotta cut her out of the dragon. So you ain't got no time to go try to do some odd jobs, scrounge around, and gather some coins so you can get some more. Now you gotta go back down there. But you need food. You need those supplies. These people find interesting ways with the monsters that they encounter to find a way to eat them. I'm like, oh, what this you can eat this part. You can't eat this part. One interesting thing that I will say, just like an interesting part to get you there. You ever seen armor that looks like ghost armor, moving on its own, attacks you as soon as you come up to it, in a lot of RPGs. Um. Ooh, and by the way, pause for a minute. And I'm back. I'm back. I'm back to it. So yeah, Delicious in Dungeon, fire. The armor, again, you would think like, oh, it's ghost armor or whatever. There was actually these like these creatures in there, like muscle like creatures that would connect together. Like they're living in there like a colony in a sense. And they band together like muscles to move the armor around. So you're thinking like, oh, it's a ghost armor. That's how it's moving like that. No, there's some creatures in there. But they cracked it open just like they would crack some clamshells. And man, put some seasoning on there. Chop them little muscles up. Boil them in there with some stew. Just know that every creature, like, let's say in Final Fantasy, you coming across some of them creatures. Some of them, not all of them. Some of them look kind of crazy. But even the crazy ones, you're like, you know what? I can use this. Boil this real quick, cut it up, make a little stew like this. I could take this little flying creature, make me a little like, chicken type of thing. They be making that shit look good on some Food Wars type stuff. All right, that's Delicious in Dungeon for your ass. So yeah, the rundown is Zatch Bell, Hitman Reborn, S Cryad, Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans, Eureka 7, Orange, Summertime Rendering, Future Diary, Garo, whichever one you watch, Tokyo ESP, World Trigger, Blood Blockade Battlefront, and Blood Blockade Battlefront Beyond, Erased, Junie Tyson, Cyborg 009, the one that came out in 2000 to 2001, ID Invaded, Ranking of Kings, Megalobox, Blizzards and Dungeon. Whew, keep that in. Oh, that's the 19. Let me fix the screen. All right, had to fix that. Do I know a smooth transition for that? Not yet. But listen, still a work in progress. Still working on it. I'm still getting comfortable. Where we at? We are on almost on 2 hours. Holy shit! I'm trying to make this the longest one. Let's see. Anime is usually like my big bulk of stuff, and then I got like lead on stuff. Daredevil. Let's go to some Marvel stuff real quick. First off, before I go to that, even regular comic book stuff. Absolute, you know, Absolute DC is coming out. They got Absolute Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Absolute Flash came out. Absolute Martian Manhunter came out. Absolute Green Lantern is on the way. I will fight to the teeth to get that Absolute Green Lantern comic. I know it's coming. I know the perfect time to order it. I got the Absolute number one. It's a different cover issue. Like when it comes to ordering stuff, you're not gonna get that official regular first cover like that. It's not gonna happen. The variant covers though, some of the variant covers are cool. So the variant covers you're more so able to get. Like me, I'm able to get variant covers, but it's still the first issue. So the variant cover for the first issue of the Absolute Flash. Looking for signs for that Martian Manhunter one so I can get that. I just want first issues, that's all. Except for Green Lantern. Green Lantern, I am getting every issue of that in Absolute. I am getting every one for that, okay? I did it only for the first issues for, what was that DC run? One that came out a while ago that had the Black Batman and like Superman's son took over Superman. You had a Brazilian Wonder Woman, which should have worked out fine. People didn't want to back it up. You know the reasons why. As soon as they see Batman's black, or they see that Superman's son is gay, or they see that Wonder Woman is Brazilian, or they see that the Flash was like, I think it was like non-binary or something like that. It was just they were trying to do a real diverse type of casting going on. You know people ain't for that. Leave my heroes the way they are. No one can take the mantle. Even though it's been like upwards of 70 years and these niggas have still been 32 for the longest time. That's why I kind of like manga. Manga, the motherfuckers age. They have their adventure and then there has to be a time skip where there has to be an age. People have to take over. The main characters maybe get a new title or a new spot or something like that. Growth. Now there's growth in these comics, sure. But damn. And niggas be having sons and still are, it's like, oh, I'm having a son at 32. Still 32, and all these motherfuckers almost as old as they are. But yeah, absolute Green Lantern. I'm coming for you. Pause. Maybe it's a female Green Lantern. Still, just in case. Getting back to Daredevil though. Daredevil is flip cooking. And Daredevil is cooking. Sit back too because my nose is killing me. Daredevil Born Again is cooking with gas. It was always a wonder with how they were going to do what they were doing. Now that it was on Disney Plus, you weren't including everybody from the old cast, that being Foggy and Paige. They found a way to do it in the first one, which was crazy in the first episode. But as you see it, what was presented to us early on was that this was going to be heavy on the lawyer side and lighter on like him doing some of the vigilante stuff. But it seems like that's changing more so. Like he's definitely doing like he's representing different type of clients, and you get to see like Matt Murdock instead of seeing a whole lot of Daredevil. Even though Daredevil, like that's the drawing point. You want to see the action. You want to see this blind man with a special power to still see with his senses, kick ass. That's a very good point. That's a very good show part. But it's good to see him doing the lawyer shit. It's like, yo, you kicking all his ass. How good of a lawyer are you? Very good lawyer. And it helps the fact that he has all these. It helps that he has this special power that he has, which is not like an overly like. It's not overly. Oh, you're gonna beat anybody with this. But as far as like street level people go, yeah, they showed the example of his power. Like my man can hear the difference between like who's talking and how far they are, and people's walks, whether they're lying based on how fast their heartbeat's going, stuff like that. Like yo, feeling things. Like showed like yo, he can feel like certain stuff and be like, okay, I feel the ridges, I feel the shape it's making. You can only picture like his smells is up, like his senses are up there, and when his senses like cut off, his other senses got a boost. So yes, Daredevil is cooking. It's like they're trying to do this whole Daredevil. Daredevil's less, Matt Murdock's more. Kingpin is less, and Mayor Fisk is more. But then it's like you see them like steadily going back to who they are, like what their calling is. Because Fisk can't help but to be Kingpin, and Matt can't help but to be Daredevil. It just it's within them. It's calling them. So it's very good how they're doing that. More Marvel shit. Doomsday. Fuck. Because I want to do it again. I want to pull up something else. But just the Doomsday cast. They're, and let me see if. Nah. I kind of don't want to do that because I already pulled that up. Just know the Doomsday cast. They're not bringing back. I'm gonna do it from my phone. They're not bringing back everybody, but they're including a lot of people into this Doomsday cast. Again, the King of Conqueror thing would have worked. In fact, the way that it was setting up, it's like, yo, Disney's full of shit for that too. Disney is full of shit. They could have waited for the trial to be done, or they could have like researched a little more. Like this was gonna be your flagship villain. You was setting things up, and not and not just because he was an actor, not just because he was just a part of like doing this stuff, but it's also um just everything surrounding it, the results of it that happened, how much time has passed. Like you have a chance to bring him back into the fold. Now, does Marvel like to announce everything up front? No. So could they be doing something behind the scenes? If you were Jonathan Majors, would you tell them kiss your ass because they dumped you? Even though that Marvel bag is a bag. Okay, that Marvel bag is a bag. You can't give that up, can you? Let me see if I got the whole list, cause there's dumb shit on here that makes me not be able to see it. Okay. Let me see if I can read this whole list off, just in case people don't know. Let's see. So we got Chris Helmsworth, Thor, Anthony Mackie, Captain America, Vanessa Kirby, Susan Storm, Paul Rudd, who's Ant-Man, Florence Pugh, Yelena. Then you have Tinoch Huerta, Namor, Simu Liu, Shang-Chi got Sebastian Stan, which is Bucky Barnes. Tisha Wright, which is, the new Black Panther. Ebon Moss, Mockrock, The Thing. Kelsey Grammer. Kelsey Grammer, the Beast. That's the Beast from like the 2000s X-Men. Okay. Then you got Lewis Pullman, who's supposed to be the Sentry, because the Sentry is supposed to be in the Thunderbolts movie. Danny Ramirez, Falcon. He's the new Falcon. Spoiler alert for Captain America. Sorry about that. That actually spoiled it for me too. Damn. I'm still gonna watch it. Joseph Quinn, Johnny Storm, David Harbour, the Red Guardian, Winston Duke, M'Baku. M'Baku is. You look at him in the comics, it's like, okay, he's supposed to be this villain, he's supposed to be this and that. He's not supposed to be really, on teams like this. But the way that they showed him in the movie and just how essential his character is and how funny it is, but how capable he is, it's like, yeah, you need M'Baku. Because Black Panther 2, we just weren't ready to move on from Chadwick Boseman. Not only just as an actor, as a person, but as Black Panther. So when she came on, I was just like we don't want you per se. Like you in the comics, please, don't get it twisted. In the comics, there is a time where Shuri actually does become Black Panther, but T'Challa becomes like a different type of Black Panther. So yes, I don't know. Maybe it's just her in a sense, like having her as the Black Panther now. I don't know. It's not working for me. Like maybe they chose another woman to do it. Then sure. But anyway, let's keep going. Yeah, M'Baku, Hannah John came in. Ghost. Ghost was Ant-Man. What was it? Ant-Man 3? There was Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania? No. Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's where she was the enemy. She was the one that could like phase through shit. So she's back. Tom Hiddleston's Loki. So listen. And Loki was supposed to be hidden from everybody else. He's supposed to be like the king of stories and all that. So the fact that they're including him means he got to come out from that. So something's up. Patrick Stewart, Charles Xavier, Professor X. Y'all seen him a bunch of times. That when he was cast as Professor X, just like Ian McKellen Magneto, again, one from the 2000s one. Those were perfect castings. However, God, stop casting old niggas for stuff. Give some of these younger actors a chance. Do something a little different, okay? You want movies to keep going, like, these niggas are like 90 or something. Is it a blessing that they can keep acting? Yes. But can you get the type of acting that you want, the type of movie setups that you want? No, you can't. Because then you got to change it. Like, oh, what happens to this professor? Now you got to make somebody else the leader. And to be fair, it does happen in the comics per se. So you know what? I'll take it back. Let's just see what they do. Alan Cummings, Nightcrawler. Again, from the original Fox X-Men stuff. You bring him out. Okay, cool. Rebecca Romaine. Call her Rebecca Romaine. Mystique. Again, they bringing back a lot of the crew from the original X-Men live action movies. James Marsden, Cyclops, and Channing Tatum as Gambit. Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself. He said he was gonna make a name for himself. Also, Pedro Pascal, who's Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, you have the other ones in there. Of course, you're gonna have Pedro Pascal, and who else but Robert Downey Jr. as Doom? I still don't agree with that per se. Because why? You got some other actors, man. Now y'all, it's like it's starting to look sketchy because now y'all don't know what to do because you ended it on a great note. That first, like the whole thing leading up to Avengers Endgame, and it's like, well, damn, what do you do now? How do you do some other stuff? Like you draw in people again, but you need to use Robert Downey Jr. as a safety net for Doctor Doom. But mind you, he's played such a pivotal character already. Iron Man, the nigga that kind of flagship this whole fucking shit, this iteration. I mean, we know Blade was there, but you want to be serious with, like, starting this story that was going on. It's Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. But him being that character, having the arc he did, and then dying, and you bring him back as Doctor Doom. It's like, yo, wasn't there another person that you could have? There are some quality actors out there. You couldn't get another person to play Doctor Doom. That's the weird, like maybe this is a variant of Tony, and then they try to play in on that or something, and maybe he becomes good after that. We need our Doctor Doom to be a dickhead. Tony, Robbie Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark was a little dickheadish, funny, witty, you know. But we need our Doctor Doom to be like on it times 10. He's there for Latveria, and I don't know if it cuts with Robert Downey Jr.'s old ass. He's a great actor too, mind you. I like Robert Downey Jr. I'm not hating on Robert Downey Jr. as a person. I'm just hating on the selection for the role. That's it. I don't know. Hopefully the movie does. Marvel's been like, okay, but it's kind of on a more so downhill. The TV shows have been doing pretty good. Movies is just like is falling action. We hit the climax, and now we're hitting falling action, and then just it's getting ready to be just a flat resolution line. But yeah. And speaking of underrated, I want to talk about an underrated mixtape that you guys don't speak about, and that's Roscoe Dash. Getting into my music talk real quick. Roscoe Dash, okay? The Dash Effect. If you don't know Roscoe Dash, and go to the mixtape The Dash Effect, because the reason why I brought this up because they finally put it on iTunes. I had to do it on Spinrilla. I had a whole bunch of my mixtapes on Spinrilla. Then Spinrilla went and did something stupid. I had to go download my mixtapes, but there are people that are getting some of these samples cleared, so they're actually able to start putting their mixtapes on Apple. And one of my friends was like, yo, they got the Dash Effect on there. Like, what? Listen, the Dash Effect 2012. Fire. ROSCOE, Mr. Shorty putting it on. Please. I be going ham. Shorty upgrade from baloney. It's a simple line. That's the wrong line to just prove it, but it's just, yo, like, that Dash Effect mixtape, that's underrated. Just like the mixtape Room for Improvement from Drake, underrated. What was it? There's a mixtape from Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, but we're gonna go by that Childish Gambino. Monica. Let me let you in. As soon as this shit loads up. No, don't ask me to sign in. Just sign me in, boss. I think it was Royalty. Just like what you heard before, but I think it's Royalty by Childish Gambino. He did a flip on there of Britney Spears' Toxic song. That shit bumps in the speakers. Let me see. Childish Gambino mixtapes. And come on, you gotta show me. You got to. Royalty, yep. Royalty, I'm telling you, look at, if you need convincing on how good that was, just go look through the track list, look for Royalty, blast that shit on there. And he's got a Danny Brown as a feature. Danny Brown killed it. But that beef, I was like, yo, is this Toxic? What's another underrated mixtape? I'm trying to think. One of the ones that Wale came out with. The people honestly sleep on Wale. Do I understand it? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe because he doesn't have like the flair like other people or something. But I don't know. That Summer on Sunset. There we go. More about nothing. I don't think anybody has that underrated. Full Lauren, like a couple of those mixtapes, they're fire. But Summer on Sunset is definitely good. I'm trying to think of other underrated mixtapes. That Roscoe Dash is old. Boy, and I had to snap too. Another underrated mixtape was from Mac Miller. There we go. Rest in peace to the boy, man. Stay away from the wrong kinds of drugs, kids. Faces. Faces goes hard. I didn't hear anybody talk about it neither. A good mixtape that again is available on Apple. Rain, Uber with Mike Jones, Insomniac with Rick Ross, Therapy, New Faces with Earl Sweatshirt, like Thumbelina. Man, Mac Miller, dog. That shit. You want to talk about a death out of nowhere that kind of like hit me like, damn, really? That was Mac Miller. He was just a cool, he was like a cool dude that just happened to be white. He wasn't trying to push the whole, well, let me be black agenda so I can fit more into this hip hop thing. No, in fact, that first music he was coming out with was just some white kid hip hop type shit. And then he got more into it. He got more into the artistic side. He's very good with instruments. He's very good with, expressing like his feelings and stuff on his tracks. He's very good with the hip hop shit, with the words. Like he was definitely, he was just a rapper. Like he was just a rapper. Again, he's just a rapper that happened to be white. Eminem, a rapper that just happens to be white. Because there's some people like they do the whole like, oh, let me fit into like doing this. Let me do this real quick because that's what black people do. And I'm not doing it because it's part of the hip hop culture. I'm doing it because this will give me cool points of black people. Like no. Mac Miller wasn't about that. Mac Miller was just cool. So that was one of those like music deaths where it was like I'm not shedding a tear over it or nothing because I didn't know him personally per se, or the music didn't like boop like hit me like that. But I enjoyed his music, and it was like especially to go out like he did like due to like an accidental overdose, and it's just like damn dog, like that sucks. And getting older, which helps me lead into my next topic, officially old school. But getting older, like when you've seen some of the things, like you've seen what leads certain people down a certain path or what leads them to potentially dying, you'll see people that are, now the term crashing out, these people that are on a crash out trend that are gonna mess themselves up or mess up what they got going for themselves. Like when you see certain things, you're just like, man, like you can't step in because you don't have any access to that person. You're not close to that person. You know that person has people closest to them, especially celebrities, like just famous people in general, musicians. They have people that are closest to them that are doing nothing but being a bunch of yes men because they're scared or afraid that if they're not keeping it, like if they keep it real with this person, like they're gonna kick them out, they're gonna ostracize them, or maybe they're getting some type of money. The money gonna stop coming in, the traveling gonna stop coming in. So they just like, yeah, like, hey, am I doing the most if I'm doing this? Nah, man, you good? Nah, yeah. And then when people pass away, it's just like, oh, we didn't see this coming. Like, yes, you did. You were around them the most. You should have seen it coming. And if you were really their friend, or you really the loved one, or you really cared about them as you were around them, you would have wanted better. So you would have stepped in, even when, they wouldn't have liked it, but they would have appreciated you later on. Like, yo, you're doing too much. I got to step in. Like, yo, you're wilding out. You bugging, cool. Like, listen, you don't want to talk to me, fine, whatever. But as a person that's closest to you, I gotta let you know, boom, boom, boom. That's the type of people that help people get farther in life. Cause then they could go back and be like, dog, I was wilding and I didn't want to hear it, but this person closest to me and this is the person that I trust was telling me this shit, so it helped me turn my like stuff like that. Like you get a lot of these people that are just straight yes men, and no yes man you to death. If you got a lot of money and people are scared like to lose it, not lose you, lose the money, lose the access to what you can give for them, things you can give for them, and not so much the person itself. Once, like, once they get a taste of that, they'll yes man you into the grave. It don't matter. They'll like, yo, is this too much alcohol? Nah, nah, you good. How about this? If I'm doing, you know, doing a little bit of drugs right here, right before this, it's not doing too much, is it? No, 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 no. You good, you good, you good. Like, yo, should I post this? I know it look crazy, but yeah, 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 post it, post it. It's good, it's good, it's good. It's gonna get you content. It's a shame. But officially old school. I'm thinking about this, right? I'm about to be 35 this year. 35 in September. Okay? I'm thinking about it because you have to recognize who's the old school people and, you know, because it's kind of like those are the people like, oh, who's from like the older school, like an older generation. And listen, I'm thinking about a time when my arm hurts. I'm thinking about a time when I was a kid and what was considered old school to me. Old school hip hop, old school R&B, just old school songs in general. When I'm a kid in the 90s and I'm like 8 or 9 years old, someone tells me like that's old school. Funny enough, I was thinking like early 80s, late 70s, but I was definitely thinking of 70s. And from that point being in like, let's say I'm thinking about that and it's 1998. 20 years from that was 1978. You know, 20 years past. Even if you want to go further, let's say 25 years past, 25 years back from that point. So you do the math. I'm not doing that. It's like 1974. Like that, like songs coming from there, you'd be like, okay, that's old school. Okay, 25 years back is 2000. So 2000, if I'm following that logic, I'm following that rule. 2000, like early 2000s, you know, late 90, before, let's say early 2000s and under. It's like early 2000s in the 90s and the 80s. That's my childhood. So, and the songs that came out, like Wu-Tang Clan, and Biggie, and Tupac, and early Mariah, like young Mariah when she was just like looking like this white, like 19-year-old, and Redman, Method Man, and Mary J. Blige, like super younger, real love Mary J. Blige, and Lil Kim before she did that botched ass shit, like stuff like that, like yo, like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, like that. I guess now you and I'm blessed to see it, but you get to the point in an age where you're like, dog, my stuff that I'm like, nah, that can't be old school because I remember what old school was when I was younger. It was the '70s shit. Nigga, you are the '70s. Like, yo, if you're my age, like 34, like if you're around like 32, 33, 34, 35, nigga, we're old school. Okay, the stuff, the cartoons we watch, those are old school cartoons. Go back and look at them. The music, the way we used to dress, it's now considered old school. So we have to march into that shit heads high. So when people will be like, oh, what are you putting on? Some, yeah, you putting on some Biggie? Like, oh, that old school R&B, huh? Old school hip hop and R&B. When that station plays Wu-Tang Clan or it plays NWA or it plays Brian McKnight, you can't go, oh man, like, and you're gonna be like, oh, is that is old school jams and the saying of back in my day, because now that you've lived so much and these younger niggas have shit, okay? Younger people got some stuff and they're like, man, this is taking too long. These video games are trash. Like, look at the graphics. Like, it'd be getting ready to leach out. Like, oh man, but back in my day, we had like 2-bit and 8-bit. You know, some of this shit didn't have color because of Game Boy. Like, you get that, or you get like, yo, like this package ain't coming fast enough. Like, why I gotta wait a whole month? I'm like, nigga, we didn't have delivery like that. Or we do the back in my day shit with like gas prices, McDonald's dollar menu. That's kind of old school. Excuse me. The way Pizza Hut used to look, the way Domino's used to look, Sizzler, how dope Red Lobster was before it got to where it got to now. Um, Cartoons, how cable was, the cable boxes. All right, how internet was, dial up was crazy. Even fathoming having your own computer in your home was like, yo, you gotta have money for that. You can't just access the internet when you want to. It took too damn long. Access to songs, you had to know a good bootleg person, or you had to risk it with LimeWire. Okay, or Napster? I don't know. My mom still uses Napster. Shit. Um, Stuff like yo, the toys we had, how we were able to take up our own time without having to worry about opinions from other people. That's why we were so like that's why we someone from this side of town would kind of be different from this person over at this side of town or in this other state. More variety because we weren't, I mean, it's cool to be connected now in certain instances, but we weren't as connected, which means we didn't form our opinions based on the opinions of other people. We had our own opinions. We didn't form our styles based on everybody as a collective on the internet. We had our own styles, the own way we would say stuff. Like, officially old school. Like, yo, that and the grays start coming in every now and again. Don't do that. But the grays will come in a little bit. Like a gray will peek out like this, like, hey, how you doing? This is Father Time telling you. Like, yo, come on. Me, I'm not Beijing in none of that neither. Y'all go and see these grays when they come out. I think the fact that and there's some people that are like younger than me that kind of got grays or some shit, or they look like they're supposed to be like 40 or something. I'm like, dog, what? How's life treating you? Is it hard? It seemed like it. You gotta hydrate, baby. Hydrate, baby. Um, yeah, I'm 2 hours and 27 minutes in. This might be the longest episode that I've had. I like it. Okay. Remember, me, I'm trying to be a professional yapper. This is. Oh yeah, that too. Like, yo, the reason why I'm doing this one is to get practice as far as like making these type of videos. Maybe I'll make some other type of content video. I keep talking about it, but the way that TikTok be looking shaky, I'm gonna have to start bringing more of my stuff over here and then just clipping it over there. Uh, but yeah, this is like practice. You know what I mean? This is practice for maybe I can talk on other people's podcasts or other people's things that they got going on. Um, give my opinions on certain things, maybe share in on certain news and activities. But this is also like a time capsule in a sense, and it's like a videos that I can go back and watch and look at. Be like, oh, look what I was talking about then, or like give it like 10 years from now, and I can like me like hopefully like show kids or something like look what your dad was talking about then. All right, look at how I was looking, and then be like, ah, damn, like where'd the time go? Now I'm gonna keep drinking this water though, and working out. So hopefully, I don't change too much. Okay. But yeah, no. But it's also cool too. Like I think I got like 24 subscribers right now. and that's fine. Even then, I'll get, excuse me, some of the views I'll get like a good 20 something, between 20 and 30. My bad, I gotta be realistic. Between like 15 and 30. I'll get views like that. But again, that's actually not bad for me because I didn't expect that many views. Like I'm doing this just because I like it. Like I like to talk about anime with the attachment of certain other things. I like to talk about health in a certain way. I like to cover these topics, and it's something, I don't know. It's something about it that just draws me to it. And I'm not really a person that likes to go out and like share stuff or like record that much. I don't even take that many pictures like that. I will take pictures here and there, or somebody else will take pictures and I'll just take their pictures if I'm in the picture, like that. That's what my Instagram consists of now. Like it is what it is. I'm getting comfortable though, especially with TikTok. I think TikTok has a part in me getting more comfortable because when you're making the videos, you're making them sort of on yourself, or you're showing yourself talking about something. So I got more comfortable on there. I get comfortable on here. I need to start streaming when I do video games because I'm super hilarious. If I like to toot my own horn, okay. When I catch working games, it's not fun for me in the moment, but if I look back and laugh on it and make some fun out of it, it'll be fun. But yeah, that's why I do it, and hopefully this encourages other people to do it. Like, yo, it don't matter how many people watch it. Maybe this can be something for you that you personally go back and look at and be like, okay, maybe I can do better in this, better in that. Like, oh, that's the topic I was talking about. That's kind of dope. Like, look how different my mindset is from last year. Cause I think I'm almost running up on a year of me first starting this. I don't know. I gotta check. But yeah, that's pretty much that. And getting off of that, I leave with one question of who will lead as leaders die? Because the the leaders in society, things that are happening in society is based on the leaders that you have chosen, and not maybe you specifically, but just people out there. Select people that chose the leaders that we have now. Things are happening, things are going bad because of leaders you chose. Things may go good because of leaders you chose. Depending on who you are, depending on which outcome is, depending on what you were looking for to get out of this. It's because of the leaders that you chose. But who will lead us as leaders die? All right, is it just going to be a replacement that keeps holding up the bullshit? Especially right now, like, I'm not happy with none of this shit. I'm not. There's a lot of people that have the same sentiments that just don't talk about it as much. There's people that regret who they put in charge and they don't talk about it as much. And it's like, yeah, sometimes you can make a mistake. But this right here, after people were telling you, like, yo, like, it's not good to have this person because of this. It's not good to have this person because of this. And you still say, fuck it. I'm still going to vote this person in. I'm still trusting this person to lead us. And they're showing you signs that they're not a good leader. Who do you want to lead? Who's going to lead us? Do you care who leads us? Like, are you looking into the characteristics of people that are going to lead you? Because if not, then what's your reason? So that's the only thing to think upon. And then on a serious note, but not a serious note, but it is a serious note. Okay, thank you for sticking with me. We have been in this thing for 2 hours and a half. This has to be my longest episode. It has to be. I gotta go check again. But thank you for sticking with me, even if it's been only 1 minute, 1 second, an hour. You stayed the whole thing. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart because I be on here, you know what I mean? I be yapping, but for me, it's like useful yapping, a little bit of therapy. Maybe I reach other people out there. Maybe I put them on to something. Who knows? I can look back on this, and if I have progressed, I can be like, hey, look where I started at. Okay, that's the fun part. But yeah, thank you for listening. This is another episode of the Main Character Podcast. This is episode 29. with your boy Fly Guy Kai, aka the Captain, aka the main character, okay? Numero uno. Luke Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker? I don't know about that one, that last one. But yeah, thank you. Stay tuned for more. Keep your head up. Don't forget the 5 things. I was getting ready to forget the 5 things. Don't forget about the 5 things that I live by, which is hydration, okay? Hydrate. Drink your hydration source. Gotta get some electrolytes in there, boss, so that way your body absorbs the hydration, okay? Eat better. You don't have to diet. You just have to eat better. Okay, don't go on a crazy, oh man, if I go on this diet, then it'll work. Cause you go completely overboard, you're gonna crash. You're gonna be back to where you were. And then in your mind it's gonna be, oh, I'm not gonna diet because last time I did it, it didn't work. No. Eat better, replace certain things, and you'll be alright, trust me. Mind your business, okay? Mind your business. There's some business you gotta get involved in. It requires assistance. Otherwise than that, I'm pretty sure 90% of the things that go around, it's none of your business. Stay out of it. Don't put your 2 cents in there. Keep those pennies. All right. Don't do the most. And you don't know if you're doing the most if you get that feeling like, am I doing too much? Yes. Yes, you're doing too much. Okay, you're doing way too much. So stop it. Sit back, relax, enjoy yourself. And the last one is get to getting. Just like I got to gotten. Okay, now this grammar, don't pin me on this. Just listen to the message, okay? I got the gotten when it came to doing stuff like this, like getting the podcast, making TikToks, writing, working on short stories. Even if I haven't gotten too far, still, I got the gotten. So you have to get the getting. I don't care if it's working out. I don't care if it's applying for that new job, trying to get a raise at that new job, a newer position, trying to move, thinking about approaching that person that you've been staring at from afar, too damn far for too damn long. Get to getting and get started, okay? No one's gonna start it unless you start it. All right. So God bless you. Higher power bless you. If you don't believe in higher power, you know, believe in yourself, hopefully. And yeah, stay tuned. Dynamite.